Congratulations to Maryland. They have a terrific team. They were exceptional tonight. They played great defense, offense. They pitched. They beat us tonight. And you got to tip your cap when you get beat 10-1 in your home park. You got to tip your cap to the opponent. And they thoroughly outplayed us tonight. Our guys gave it all they had. We just couldn't get any momentum going there after the first inning from a run production standpoint, and kind of there in the fifth and sixth, I guess, when they got up 4 or 5-1, it kind of deflated us a little bit. And but our guys over the course of the season gave me all they had. They handled adversity. They represented this program the right way. And Joel started the game today, and that was a new experience for him, obviously, this season, considering I think he was an All-American closer, and he pitched his heart out for us and kept us in the game, which is what we asked him to do. And we just kind of ran out of gas there at the end. But congratulations to Maryland. I'm sure they're rightfully excited, and they get to go play for a Super Regional Championship next weekend.
Questions for the student athletes? Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you.
Maybe just starting with Tanner a little bit, what this kind of loss means. I'm sure that it stings, and what's it like from your perspective?
I mean, it sucks. We're done playing for the year. I think we definitely fell up short of what we wanted to. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be fun to lose like that, and especially in that fashion at home in front of your own fans. So, yeah, kind of sucks.
Joel, obviously not the outcome y'all wanted, but just talk about getting the start today and, your start getting going.
I just tried to go out there and try and treat it as just a regular outing. I mean, even Coach Myers, we went through a normal, more like a bullpen routine where I'd be coming in like in a relief appearance. So I didn't really feel any extra pressure or anything going out in the start. It wasn't too much different, so I just tried to go and keep us in the game and go as hard as I can as long as I could.
Tanner, how much of this was you guys struggling with the bats, and how much of it was how good Maryland's pitching was?
I mean, we obviously, I don't know how many hits we got, but we had a lot of balls that were hit right at people too, and kind of getting under some balls, and things just weren't really rolling our way, and everything was rolling their way, as y'all could tell. I thought everyone swung the bats all right. It's baseball, man.
For Kyle and Tanner, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 2 for 15 with runners on bases. It kind of seems like that's how the season went for you guys. Was tonight just kind of a microcosm of the season for that?
You can go already talk.
Obviously, it's not something you want to put in a ball game. I mean, we work really hard on that, and we just haven't done a very good job of it. 0 for 7's tough, and that's not a good way to win ball games.
Joel, how different was it for you making your first start in more than a year and on a stage like this? How did you approach it, and how do you feel like your night went?
I mean, once again, it wasn't too different, and I was a starter my whole life. So I mean, just this year I kind of got in the relief role for the most part, and so I just tried to go out and go with all the confidence in the world and just try to keep us in it as long as I could, and then lay it off to the next guy. That we had all the confidence in the world in our bullpen as well.
Kyle, this may be not the best time to ask this, but what do you take away from this season, given the adversity you guys faced, and how each week you guys were able to pretty much answer the bell?
I feel like we did a good job. We had a lot of players out during the season, and we battled as a team. We fought through injuries and things like that, but towards the end, we came together. We got everybody back in the lineup. I felt like this season overall was very strong. We had a lot of young players come in, and a lot of talent come in, and I feel like they showed up.
Joel and the others, if you want. I mean, this could be it for the three of you. How disappointing is it to go out, went on a night when you just really didn't play very well?
I mean, it's definitely a tough one to swallow. I mean, just coming out and just not performing our best on our home field in front of our home crowd. So, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one to swallow, and nobody really wants to go out like this, but it was tough.
Chad, at what point, you scored first tonight, and it seemed like you got off to a good start. At what point did it feel like, to you, things started to get away?
Well, we had the crowd into the game there in the fourth there, and Joel had almost pitched out of a really tough jam and had 2 strikes on the hitter there, and he made a mistake there, and the shortstop hit that ball in the 6th hole that put them ahead. And I think that was the big swing of the bat that turned the momentum in their favor. And maybe if we'd have got out of that jam, maybe some momentum would have come to our dugout, and we could have got excited about swinging the bats a little bit. But got to give credit to them. Sometimes you'll make a mistake and maybe they'll foul it off, but when we made a mistake against those guys, they made us pay.
Coach, it seemed like Drossner kind of struggled a little bit with his control, ran a bunch of 3-0 counts. Did you feel like he kind of missed some
Who's that?
opportunities? Their starting pitcher, Jake Drossner.
Yeah, he was, I guess, effectively wild there, and we had some pitches to hit, and thought early in the game we took some good swings, and I'm like you, I was sitting over there in the 3rd inning saying it feels like we should be up more than 1-0, and we kind of let him off the hook a little bit there by couldn't get in a big hit with runners in scoring position, and a lot of our opportunities with runners in scoring position came with 2 outs over the course of the weekend, and we just couldn't get that big 2-out hit, and ultimately, you score 1 run in a regional championship game, you're going to have a very, very difficult time winning, and we just couldn't get that big hit offensively.
Chad, given how high the standards are at this program for you tonight, does it make it more difficult knowing that you guys were literally 2 wins away from being close to where you were last year?
Well, there was a point in time in this season that I was worried about making the postseason, to be quite honest with you, when we were scuffling so bad and could barely field a team. I'm proud of my players. I'm proud of my team. Yeah, it was a good season, but good's not good enough around here. I understand that. And so we got to do better than good. And that's going to be the attitude here as long as I'm the coach. And South Carolina baseball is a special program. And am I proud of our team? Yes. Our players gave me all they had. They did everything I asked. And there's some good kids in that locker room that are hurting. But they understand. South Carolina, good's not good enough. And it was a good season, but we got to do better.
Chad, a tough way for this core group to kind of go out. What can you say about them? Obviously, some of them aren't going to be back with draft and stuff.
Yeah, I love those guys to death. Grayson and Joey and Kmart and Joel. I mean, those are the guys off the top of my head that I think will probably have an opportunity to sign professionally. And they're great kids. And they've been here and they gave us all that. They're baseball rats. And I hate it ends like this for them, and I take some responsibility in that. Not helping them more than I did, and it's just there's no easy way to end the season, especially with good kids that have given us everything that they had. But it's a special group, and who knows? Jordan Montgomery's the other one. That's going to have a chance. Those kids won a lot of games here. And they did this program right, and they made our fans and people that follow and support South Carolina baseball over the course of their 3 years here, they made them awfully proud. And I'm proud of them as well.
Coach, kind of 2 questions. First, can you explain to me a little bit about what went into your reasoning about when you sent Joel out to start the 6th? I think he had kind of exceeded his pitch count for the year and number of innings. And second question is, did you see anything from Maryland in general that surprised you coming into this series?
Well, we started him in the 6th because we're still in the game, and he's at 80 pitches, probably a little bit under that going into that inning, and was trying to keep it at 3-1. And trying to get him through the 6th there and then turn it over to maybe Mincy, who obviously came in the game and didn't throw a strike. So that was the thought process there. We thought that Joel could go up between 85 and 100 pitches a night, and that was our thought process. And when he went into that inning, it was at 77, 78, and it's a 2-run game, and he's our best guy. That was the thought process there. As far as Maryland, I was extremely impressed with him. That White kid's a special player. I loved Lamont Wade. What an athletic first baseman he is. They had athletes running around that field out there. It was impressive. And their pitching obviously was stinted out front, and the freshmen they threw yesterday and they have arms. They're physical. They're athletic, and they were very impressive to me.
You say that they're impressive, and you've had athletic players come in here. You've had good teams come in here in the past, and they haven't done to you what Maryland did. What made Maryland different?
Well, yesterday was a great game, and we had our opportunities to win the game, and we just couldn't get that big hit, and ended the game there with a double play. So yesterday was just a great baseball game. Today, Joel gave us a chance there through 5 innings or so, and then we just ran out of gas. I mean, Max gave us all he can. He could barely walk, and Grayson, I think catching a lot of the season, kind of caught up with him late as far as his offensive, swinging the bat. He won't admit to it, but I could see the wear and tear on him, and it's a tough position to play, and I wish I could have gave him a little bit more rest, but if I did, I don't think we're in a regional, and I just think actually late in the game, we our bullpen, we just ran out of gas.